Going from worker to entrepreneur. Some of the tough lessons I've learned so far. I think one of the toughest things that I've learned transforming my mind from the mind of a worker to an entrepreneur has been mindset. I think when you look at someone who's happy to work the 9 to 5, to pay into their pension, happy to work 40 years of their life, get holidays, have sick leave, have family leave. I think one of the hardest things to get over is the fact that there is uncertainty when it comes to entrepreneurship. The reality is, now that I've started a business, even though it's right at the beginning, I believe it is one of the most challenging parts of starting. If I look at it like this, right? Security brings comfort, and that level of comfort can just keep you happy where you are, which is fine. I mean, some people are really, really happy. I have parents that have worked, all of their lives. I know people who've worked all of their lives up until their retirement age, and some people are super happy with it. They get their pension, it's a good amount of money, they don't really need to do much with it, bills are paid. I believe that comfort for me will come once I know that I have something left over from what I do. The toughest shift in mindset is to know that over the next 5 to 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or the rest of my life is going to be an upward battle. But the best thing to know is that it is for myself. And the most amazing thing to know is that this will change generations after me. The reality is, if I stay in a 9 to 5, if I continue down that path for the next 20 years, the most I will have left behind is my pension, maybe some savings, and maybe some assets. What I won't have left behind for my son is drive, determination, getting out and trying to follow your dreams, whatever they may be. So in a way, me pushing into this level and changing my mindset from a worker to an entrepreneur has been one of the most difficult challenges that I've faced in a mental perspective, not physically. And there's lots of challenges that would be more difficult, but it's almost taking yourself away from comfort, taking yourself away from security, taking yourself away from things that keep you cushy, keep you happy, and putting yourself in a position that's difficult, in a position to grow. At the end of the day, no growth happens when you're comfortable. Think about the gym. When you work hard and you're sore and your muscles are aching and you're in pain, that is the biggest times of growth. However, if I just refused to do that and I chilled out, I would take the pain later on in my life. And that pain to me is the pain of regret. A pain that no painkiller can take away, that no amount of therapy can change. One of the biggest things that if you speak to the older generation, especially people who are now in their 70s, 80s and 90s, some of the things you normally tend to hear is that they regret not chasing their dream. They regret not traveling to a certain place. They regret not doing the thing that they wanted to do. And I'm in a very fortunate position that I have the ability and I also have the opportunity to go out and try and do something different. I think when you look at it, right? I think when you look at shifting your mindset from a worker to an entrepreneur, the first challenge is how do I do it and where do I go? And if it doesn't work, what happens? And I think that's the worst kind of mindset to have at this point. Because the reality is you don't know what you don't know. You don't know until you've tried. And when you fail, especially on the journey of entrepreneurship, you grow, you learn, and you actually get invaluable lessons about not only yourself, but what you're capable of and what you could do when you put your mind to things. It's hard because a lot of people are chasing a paycheck, right? And I think entrepreneurship is a little bit more than that. You're kind of chasing a purpose. You're kind of you're chasing a why, not so much a what. And my why is being able to be financially free, independent of anybody, paying my salary, and being able to provide for my family, myself, and my future by my own work. And that doesn't necessarily mean to say that if you're a worker, like I have been for the last decade, over a decade. I mean, I started working when I was 16 going into 17 in retail. If I look back then, I still had the same drive and determination and mindset. But the difference is I wasn't doing it for a why. I was doing it for a paycheck. And I know that this journey might not come with the paychecks. Not yet. But what it will come with is a sustained purpose. It will come with an idea. It will come with growth. It will come with pain. And I'm really willing to do that. So I guess one of the tough lessons that I've learned, circling back to what have I learned trying to change my mind from a worker to an entrepreneur, is that it's going to be very tough. And you have to have a level of resilience, and you need to be able to fight off the thoughts in your head that you can't do it, or the voices around you that might tell you you're not able to do it. The sheer volume of people doing the same thing that you're trying to do. And push through. So this is my ask from you. If you're passionate about something, if you want to be an entrepreneur, follow me on this journey. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Share this video with somebody who might benefit from it. And I hope you guys understand. This is the start for me, but by no means is it the end. By no means am I finished. And I will continue. And I will endure. And I will continue to grow as time goes on. And I hope that you can do it too. Let's get it.